Good Weeding Wednesday to you. Well, it was supposed to rain this morning. Somehow it's coming down from the north of California. For those of you that don't live in the area, it's sort of the Arctic something or other. It's supposed to come down along the coast, give us a good chill, which it's doing, and give us some rain. But it looks like it just kind of skipped over LA and went down to further south, Orange County, California. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's a nicer day than I was expecting, so let's see what we can get done today. Now, first off, this has been bothering me since I did the front yard. I really didn't do a complete job, so I'm going to try and get this cleaned up real quick. Ooh, it's chilly out here. I might not make it as far as I thought I was, but to get something done when I thought it was going to be raining, and who knows, maybe it'll suddenly pop up, but I don't think so. Anyway, let's look at the next thing. Let's take a look at the bin that is supposed to be draining out the water here, even though actually the sprinklers went off this morning. I've been watching the security cameras, and really all we got for rain was about 5 minutes night before last and another 5 minutes last night. So not a whole lot going on. This is more likely from the sprinklers, this little bit of water. We'll just drain that off that way. Wish I could get you a wider angle here, but oh wow. All right. Let's get you a good look at this. That's a fair bit of water down there, and it does look wet down there. You can even see the wet spots by the drain hole, so that's real progress. Now the fun part is, can I actually process this, or is it still too wet? We're going to find out. Nope, not quite dry enough, but I think I do have enough room here to still work on sifting soil. So I think what I'm going to do next is go up there and gather maybe a couple of 5-gallon buckets and just see how that goes. If not, I'll call it quits for the day. It's cold. I'm really starting to feel it. But I'm hoping that the exercise will be a good thing for me and will warm me up a little bit. So let's get to that. Okay, I hope it's reasonably obvious what I'm going for. We've got more soil up under there, but that was like 20 gallons worth, give or take, because I used 2 5-gallons and a 3-gallon, but I was trying not to overfill the 5 gallons because they get rather heavy. Maybe as I continue to do this, I'll build up enough strength that it won't be as much of an issue, but also that one doesn't have a handle and is broken on the bottom, or cracked. So I got 20 more gallons up there. Looking at it from, let's see if I can get it on camera here, and boy is it getting windy. I've got a decent shelf right here now. I think I need to get a little more over on that side. I need to come all the way across and get all 3 trees. I'm digging out and kind of leveling behind the wood wall there. So I think I've kind of carved in, and then I'll just continue going across, leveling it and moving those pots as needed. I'm hoping that's enough soil to handle this, and then what remains I can dig down even further and create planting beds. Hopefully that's not like a full week's project. Hopefully I can get that done in a few days. After 20 gallons I'm pretty spent, but also, I mean, it's sifted reasonably well. This I'll cover up. That's my small gravel. The larger gravel I was dumping in there, I've moved around to the other side. I'll show you that soon enough. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Thursday morning. It's well, okay, for some of you I'm sure it's still winter. It's probably much colder, but here in Southern California, Los Angeles, being 52 or 57 degrees, depending on which thing you look at, it still is below 60. For most Californians, below 80 is cold. I'm a transplant. But it is nippy, and it did get down to around freezing, which makes me want to look at the trees. I can see one split up on there, but that's nothing to do with the cold. No obvious signs of damage, although Dad, who's more the expert, was telling me last night actually snow, believe it or not, is a good thing for fruit trees, because it basically creates a layer of frost around the fruit, which protects them. It's just when it gets down to really cold. I thought it was freezing. He said actually more like 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to take a look at these. Wanted to see if I could get out and get a little bit of work done today. I did notice something yesterday, and I'll show you. We've got sprouts. Looks like the round zucchini, the 8-ball. Looks like we've got bush bean. Looks like we've got a yard long, although that's not looking all that healthy. Let's see, not the patty pan, not the straight neck, or the contenders, but it's only been a couple of weeks. So I was thinking about it and about the whole soil thing. My back is already kind of hurting, so I want to be careful about this today. But I dug up there yesterday. I want to dig along a little bit further, and I think what I want to do actually is just behind the wall. I want to create sort of a flat area, which will make it easier for me to walk back and forth while I'm doing all of this, because if it will just make it easier to walk back and forth. It'd just be a flat area instead of standing on a slope while trying to dig. So I think that'll be better for me. I think that's just what I'll try to get done today. I also want to look at the one bin here, which I've got covered with everything else, and has the soil which I'm trying to dry out. So we're going to give that a shot. We'll see what it all looks like. Okay, well, that was kind of a shorter day, but like I said, my back was already hurting. And let's just kind of talk about what I did here. I moved this, I got a bigger block and put it underneath so it would be at a steeper slope. And I can already kind of see it's draining out a bit. Let's see if I can't pop the top here. So you can see the water in there. Yeah, I'm just hoping that that'll help, because honestly, a couple of bucketfuls and it was still pushing mud through a screen. That's really not helping the situation. But I did get more off the hill. Like I said, I wanted to kind of carve in there. I think I'm just going to leave the shovel up there for now. Got it sifted, got some small gravel which you can't see, and some larger gravel which I moved to the side, and I'll show you in a moment, and tossed more soil up on the hill. Also tried to kind of distribute it a little from down below. It's kind of hard bending over and getting a bucket and tossing it up there, so it's really hard to get it to land exactly the way you want. So I'll get the heavy rake and groom that. But let's go around. I told you I was going to show you the side. Yeah, takes a little out of me. Does warm me up a little though. Let's see if we can't find over here. There we go. This is where I've been adding it, just kind of building out in that direction. I need to go through these roots and figure out which ones belong to the pepper tree and which ones I discovered last year were old roots from a pine tree that we cut down, so I can get those roots out before I cover things up with all the rock. But that's kind of the plan, is getting more rock in here and maybe going down the path there. I do need to trim the bougainvillea and deal with the palm and other things. So still a lot to do, but that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Friday morning to you. Well, we're going to get back to this, but first I had to go out for some other stuff yesterday, and I went to one of the stores that I've been to. Last year I bought pretty much the same thing. I'm not really a huge fan of bell peppers myself, but my family is. And I bought a green last year, so I got a red this year. Christmas, huh? Yeah, so I got that. I'm going to try and get that planted back in the pot that, I think it was that pot up there. I'm going to put it back in the pot. I also need to get up to the trees. I keep forgetting. I need to get up there and remove suckers, which are basically branches that grow in an unusual way and suck all of the energy out of the tree. It's just a common problem thing that you got to deal with. And as I've been informed, they'll be on the inside of the tree, and I've already seen them on this tree. I need to inspect the other 3 trees and make sure. So that's going to be the first things I do. Then we're back to digging. Well, that was fun. Got a lot more suckers out of that tree than I expected. And then there wasn't that much for suckers on these 3 trees, so I think we're good there. Went up, did some digging, brought the soil back down for sifting, and then remembered I wanted to get to this one here, which was a lot better than it has been, but once I got past a certain point, let's see if we can't open this up. There we go. So that's about where I am now. Some of it fell down into where the water's collecting, so it got really muddy, so I threw it back up there. That's why you see that wet stuff there, but it's working. It's just slow. Then I sifted what I had, and now I'm faced with a new sort of issue interrupting me, and that is that this bin is getting rather full. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. I've got some of the larger gravel in the other bin there. So let's head around to the side and try and figure that out. Now, part of the problem is I don't want to dump the small gravel until I know I'm going to have enough to handle drainage in that 3rd level. So yeah, that's kind of the problem. I was thinking maybe what I would do is I'll continue putting the larger gravel here. I get some bigger rocks to better mark the areas, like right here. I've got one of the manifolds for the, is that right? Where did it go? Well, you can see there's one sprinkler right there. So I want to make sure I keep them marked. So I put larger rocks there. I can put the medium sized and just kind of keep going here, turning this into sort of a desert landscape, which isn't bad. And then I'm thinking down the pathway here is where I'll put the smaller gravel, just because I've got a lot of it. But the major thing is I've got to go through these roots, so I think I'm going to get the pickaxe out and just try and kind of penetrate some of these roots with it and see what happens if there's any more roots left over from the pine tree. I got to get those out before I start doing the rest of this, so I guess that's next. I think that's enough for today, except for some cleanup. I mean, I managed to get about 10 more gallons dug out there and tossed up above. And now with the heavy rake, I can kind of see I've pretty much done what I can on that side, coming across to the lemon tree. But I still need a fair amount more, going from the lemon tree to the Valencia orange tree. And yeah, it's just a lot of work. And my back was already hurting when I started, and I've already taken some pretty heavy pain meds to control it. So rather than making it even worse, I think I'll do a little cleanup and call it a day. That's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Saturday morning to you. Well, I'm in the backyard. I've been working so much on the side yard, I've been neglecting the back, and I just kind of gave it a quick once over, and wow, I've got a lot to do here. We just sort of work our way around. There's a ton of weeds right there. Probably need to toss some soil up on the hill at some point this year. We've got roses. This is the main reason I came back, is Dad's roses and getting them back under control. They need to be cut back. I'm going to need a decent pair of cutters to do that, but you can kind of see these are getting really kind of, it's early in the year. They should be cut back hard so they can then be encouraged to grow back out again. Get the stuff cleared out on the bottom there. The ivy has grown right into it, and there's some grass growing in there. I've got these bushes here which need to be reined in. Stuff along the wall has just been growing wild. We've got this ivy here and the next plant over. They need to be scaled back a bit, and just, you know, generally getting plants off of each other, just making it all nice and neat. So yeah, I've got a fair bit of work back here, so a lot to do. Let's just get cranking. Okay, that's probably enough of that. I moved a bunch of plants around, but before my phone overheats and decides to shut off at some inopportune time, I've got two of them there, another one that I've cut back there. I do have some smaller ones, sort of miniatures, that I need to kind of figure out. And then I got one more over here, which is just kind of covered by others, so just cutting around and stuff like that, and cutting back the ivy, and I've got to clear underneath them so I can build up kind of a ring around them and put the fertilizer in there. And so there's just a lot more to do, but you get the basic idea what I'm doing trimming them here. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll come back towards the end of the day and give you an update on what I got done. Alright, well, it's considerably later and before the sun goes down. Just want to sort of survey the difference here. As it turns out, yeah, looks quite a bit different. Up to, I believe this is a camellia bush, and I may need to trim a little more off this side. Then I've got these roses to deal with, and I don't know if that's, I don't think that's a camellia, I think that's a hibiscus. And then we've got all the pots on the wall to deal with, but I'll leave that to Mom. She can handle how she wants things to look back here. My main goal is to get things set up, get that sort of back under control. And actually, after some discussion, we're thinking that the reason this looks so scraggly is because of all of these suckers at the base of the... It's actually a vine, but ultimately that may be it. So we'll cut those out. We'll trim this back tomorrow, maybe, and go after the rest of it. So hopefully by early in the week, Mom will have something to work with. That's it for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Good Sunday morning to you. We've had enough talking and this video's getting long enough. Time to get cranking. Well, that's enough for today. I'm gonna go pick some oranges because we're out of orange juice. But that's progress. It's a lot of stuff cut back, a lot of stuff cleaned up. Bushes sort of groomed. I think we just got to give them some time. I cut the suckers out off the bottom there, so hopefully that'll put energy back into it as the water hits it and as the sun hits it. Still got to do the terracing here, just clearing stuff out so Mom can plant. Cleaned up along there. I know there's a glare here, it's kind of hard, but yeah, overall backyard's in better shape, and this video is probably long enough at this point, so I'll try and get rid of the glare. I think I'm going to wrap up for the week early. I usually wrap up on Tuesday and try and get it out by Wednesday, but you know, I've got enough content here, so I think I'll wrap up and we'll start another one tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Take care of the ones around you. and may your thumb be green.